Okay, over the last couple weeks on your flashbacks, that's what I was looking for, I couldn't think of the word. On your flashbacks, you've had small flashback questions for conversions. Some of you have been really good at them. Some of you have struggled, and I just kept telling you, if you're not doing well on those, it's okay. We're going to do a mini lesson to refresh your memory. What I found in second hour and in third hour is that as I've refreshed memories, it's come back to us. If it does not come back to you, that's where you need to rely on not only your shoulder buddy, but the teachers to help you and to ask questions. Because it's very important that we're understanding this together. Okay? So, your learning target, I can convert measurements from within the metric system. Additionally, I can convert from the metric system to the English system. So, we're going to work on that first part. We're going to work on converting within the metric system. And when, was it Colton helped us with the bell ringer when we're talking about centimeters to millimeters? Okay, without realizing it, Colton showed us right off the bat how to do that first, or that learning target. I can convert measurements within the metric system. So you've got a poster back here, and we're going to put a poster on the projector as well. But you've got to pick, and on your notes, you've got the ladder method in there. So let's go ahead and let's fill in our ladder method. And the way the ladder method works, okay, the way it works is it starts with the very biggest on the top, and it goes down by working its way to the bottom. Who can tell me the saying right off the bat? All right, lots of hands. There's a couple different sayings. Addie, what do you got? Kangaroos hopping down mountains drinking chocolate milk. Anybody got a different one? Anna, you got one?
King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk.
King Henry doesn't usually drink chocolate milk. You want to know what mine is? Okay. Kids have died unusual deaths converting metrics. I know, it's so sad. Okay. Kids have died unusual deaths converting metrics. You don't have to use mine to remember. If the kangaroos hopping down mountains helps you remember it, if King Henry helps you, I'm just sharing with you mine. Okay, so let's fill in. We said the first one, kangaroos, or K is kilo. So go ahead and fill in your box on your notes there. Kilo is 1,000. And some of you, those of you that might have a hard time with the projector, we've got the poster in the back, or I've got it up front here on the board. So fill in your notes there. Kilo, which means 1,000. What comes after kilo? Hecto. And hecto is 100 units. All right, what comes after hecto? Deca. And deca is our 10 unit. All right, and then what do I mean by basic unit? Are you not going to sing it for me? All right, let me hear what basic units are.
Meters, liters, and grams.
Oh, it wasn't in song. Meters, liters, and grams. Okay. Now you don't have to cram. All right. So you do remember the song from yesterday. Go ahead and fill in. And you can just draw like I did right here. There's an arrow. And label them meters, liters, or grams. That's the base unit. All right, what comes after the base unit?
Decas.
Good. It is... Catch up here. Deci, which is 1/10 of the unit. What comes after deci? Drinking chocolate, or centi, which is 1/100th. And then last but not least, or maybe it is least. Is it least? It is least. Okay. Last and least, we should say, is Millie. It's the last one. Okay? Alright, so you've got your ladder, and this is going to help you kind of guide through. Some of you are able to do this in your head. Some of you are going to have to start writing it out at first, and then you'll get to the point where you'll be able to do these in conversions in your head. Okay? So at the very bottom of your paper, we're going to write 3 steps that will help you remember if you ever get stuck. So we're going to come down to that very bottom of the paper. That's probably where their most space is. We're going to write step 1. All right, so step 1, how do you use the ladder method? And you're writing this with me here. Step 1, you're going to determine your starting point. Step 1, you're going to determine your starting point. We're writing this at the very bottom. Step 1, determine your starting point. All right, Mom, we're writing step 1. And we'll go through each step in a second. Once you get step 1, then step 2, we're going to count the jumps to your ending point. And those of you that are in the back, you've got your steps also on that poster, if you're having trouble seeing them. Okay, so number 2, we're going to count the jumps to your ending point. Logan, copying down the steps right here. Here, look. Hey, Logan, look at me. They're right here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so if you can't see them up there, you've got them right here. All right, and then number 3, step 3, we're going to move the decimal. Bless you. The same number of jumps in the same direction. All right, and we're in all 3 of them, please. So get them written, and then we'll talk about what each of them are. We're going to go ahead and do an example out to the side, so those of you that are waiting on me. Bless you. All right, so our example, 4 kilometers equals how many meters? So go ahead and write that example out to the side of your steps. I see some of you already working through it, and remember I said some of you just needed a nice little refresher, and it's going to come back to you. Some of you might need a little bit of extra help, so stay with me at least through the example, and then I'll let you. Those of you that are working ahead on your worksheet, that's fine. You're getting extra practice, but I'm not going to assign all of the worksheet for homework. So, just so you know. Okay? All right. Let's look at the example. We got 4 kilometers. And the first thing, even before we do anything else, is there a decimal in 4?
Yes, it's at the end.
All right. So, I'm hearing yes. Do you see it? Do you visibly see the decimal? No. And my 7th graders often forget about this, okay? You don't visibly see the decimal, but it's still there. Okay, so let's just put it in there, and I'm going to we got 4, and I'm going to put the decimal, and I'm going to make it real noticeable. So it's there. Why isn't it before the 4? Joe?
Because it's a basic.
Okay, it's a basic, or it's not a basic unit right now. What if it were in front of the 4? Caitlin?
It wouldn't be a whole number.
It
would be 4 tenths.
It would be 4 tenths, and I always go back to money. Which would you rather have? Would you rather have $4 right here, or would you rather have Oh, now I've met. Would you rather have 4/10 or what is that? 40 cents? Which one would you want $4? Okay, so you got to keep in mind where the decimal is because that's where the decimal gets really important. Okay, all right. So number one, step one tells you to determine your starting point. So where am I going to start? I've got 4 kilometers. Where in my ladder am I going to start? I heard kilo. Do we agree? I got kilometers, so we're going to start right here, up here, and you're going to follow with me. So we're starting here, and then number 2 tells you to count the jumps until we get to our end point. What's our end point supposed to be? We're going from kilometers to meters, so we're going to jump. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So, in which direction did I go? Left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So, step number 3 tells us to move the decimal the same number of jumps in the same direction. And I'm going to rewrite this up here because this is blocking it on the screen. So, if I've got 4.0, okay, how many times did I jump? 3. Which direction?
Right.
So that's what I'm going to do with my decimal. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So my decimal ends up down here. Now I've got all these holes. I fill them up with what, Ty? 0. Some of you it's coming back to. So 4 kilometers equals how many millimeters? All right, 4,000 for your example. Okay. I want you to take, and this is where I see some of you have worked ahead, okay? I want you to take about 3 to 4 minutes, and I want you as a table to go over the the left-hand side of your notes page. Help one another out. If you've already got it done, don't tell them the answer. Take some time to help somebody that is confused. And I'm walking around helping. Miss Bronner is. Miss Wise is around. Okay? So use this time, about 4 minutes. Go. I'm going to pause this. All right. So you've had a little bit of time to work. You may or may not have gotten through all of them on the left-hand side. We were able to check with a few of you. Okay? So let's look. And let's go check. Let's see, which one do we want to check? All right, let's check 160 centimeters. 160 centimeters, where is the decimal in 160? If I write it up here, 160, where is the decimal to begin with? Logan, please pick your head up. Okay. Where's the decimal? 160. Caitlin?
After the 0.
It's after the 0. All right. I'm going from centimeters to millimeters. So how many jumps is that? Centimeters to millimeters. Centimeters to millimeters. How many jumps, Adrian? From centimeters to millimeters, it's... Look right here. Centimeters to millimeters, it's 1 jump. Okay? 1 jump. And so we're going to do the same thing, and we need to go in the same direction with our decimal. So we're going to take it, and we're going to go 1 jump. I got a hole. What goes in the hole?
0.
0. So 160 centimeters equals how many millimeters? 1,600 goes in that one. All right, let's look at 109 grams to kilograms. And as I walk around, we need to come back, a few of us do. Okay, 109. Rusty, where does the decimal go in 109? Where do we start the decimal out? 109. If you had $109, where would that decimal be?
Oh, be behind the 1 and then in front of the 0.
Behind the 1 in front of the 0, that would be $1.09.
Oh, sorry.
So 109. Where would it be, Ty?
It will be
109
wait no
after the 9. Okay, we're going from grams to kilograms. I'm going to use a different color here. Grams to kilograms. Who can tell me how many jumps? Grams to kilograms. Joe, how many you got?
3.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now notice we went which direction? Left. Okay, so we're going to do that with our decimal. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. So our decimal ends here. So our answer for that one is point. Doesn't like when I draw a decimal. 0.109. Okay, 0.109. So we've checked 2 of those. Okay. All right, so you're going to get a little bit more practice on these this evening. Okay, I want you to go ahead and circle, and let's circle which ones you're doing for homework tonight. I want you to do number 10 through 24 even. Let's do 10 through 24 even. So you can circle the evens. If you've already done them, or if you've done all of them, then you just got some extra practice. But okay. So circle the evens and then flip over to the back for me. I think you will find this pretty simple, hopefully. Okay? All right, so the second part of our learning target, we just went over from metric to metric. Okay? But now we're going to focus on English to metric, and you're always supposed to be measuring in metric, but sometimes you might come across something that you need to convert. So as we look, you've got this lovely chart at the top, and the chart's pretty self-explanatory. As you glance at the chart, what do you notice? What are you going to be doing?
See what the grader.
You're going to be doing math, okay, but what skill? What are you doing, Cade? Multiplying, and I'm allowing you to use a calculator on this. Okay, so as you look, let's do number 1 together. I gotta find the right spot. All right, so let's do number 1 together. We're going from what to what? What unit do we have? Inches to centimeters. Okay, so find it. I want everybody to find in your chart inches to centimeters. I want you to put your finger on it. Inches to centimeters.
We multiply or divide.
All right, so notice you've got centimeters to inches, and then you've got inches to centimeters. So we're going from inches to centimeters. So your finger should be on this one right here. 2.54. So that what that tells you to do, and I want you to write it out for the first several. Okay? So that tells us that we're going to multiply 16 times what?
2.54.
2.54. Write it down so if you go back and you forget what you need to do, you've at least got an example. 16 times 2.54. Write it underneath there just so you remember what you did. Right here. All right. This isn't right. All right. Who's got the calculator? Who's done it? All right. Adrian, what'd you get? 40.64. 40 and 64 hundredths. Okay, and we're always rounding to the nearest hundredth. All right, let's do number 2. And then it's about lunchtime. So what are we doing in number 2? Where are we going? I heard pounds to kilograms, so find it in your chart, pounds to kilograms, highlighting it in green up there. So we're using this chart, and we're going to multiply 345 times what? 0.4536, and I'm going to tell you to round it to the nearest hundredth. So write out the math underneath number 2, so you've at least got 2 examples there. I've done number 1 and number 2 for you on the board. We're up here. All right, who's done the math? 345 times 0.4536. All right, Kenzie, you got it?
49.
49. Thank you for rounding it to the nearest hundredth. 0.49. My ugly decimal. All right. For homework on this side, I want you to do 3 through 12. So go ahead and circle 3 through 12 or write it on the top of your paper. And all you're doing is using your chart. If you got a calculator, you should be able to go through it fairly quickly. So 3 through 12. And then on the back. So tomorrow what I want you doing is I want you coming in with questions. Okay? All right, so you got some things to work on, and then we'll answer questions and continue to practice.